Earning your rite of passage, I often say to anyone who is aspiring to play sports or to train hard. Hi, my name is Brian Schwager. I'm the founder of the Wellness Movement Center. And here we're taking a look at some comparative snapshots of Zuriel Mercado, my soccer athlete, as we compare functional movement screens from 2016 to 2019. Here I am in May of this year, testing his rotary stability. This is part of the functional movement screen. The greater the difference between sides, the greater the risk for injury. They call that a muscular imbalance. He had a little trouble getting off the floor for this trunk stability push-up, but we later cleaned that up. And this is part of my athletic movement screen. I have a whole array of tests that I take my athletes through to see where their movement restrictions are. Then we start a little bit of mobility movement prep. This is my version of stretching, which is more active stretching than it is static. He does a number of static stretches at the end of his routine. This one is for his hips, his low back, his middle back, and his chest, all in one motion. He's loosening up all those muscle groups in one motion. I really strongly believe in what is called economy in motion. So in other words, if I can loosen up 4 different muscle groups in one motion, that saves the athlete a ton of time in the gym. And this is just one example of the many movement and mobility exercises that I've given Zuriel over the last 8 years. And this is some motor control, or what is called core stability work. This is actually the 7th stage of a 9-stage process. So at this stage, he's actually moving his hand and his opposite foot like he's crawling, and he has to keep that ball from falling off. Believe me, it's a lot harder than it looks. Everything that I do for my athletes and my clients is all customized based on their dream and their goal. In his case, it's soccer. So I had to take everything into consideration, the position he plays, the level he plays at, and then straighten out and correct all the imbalances and get him ready for what you're about to see next. Between the ages of 11 and 15, I did a lot of correctives because he came to me with the right knee challenge, and then we slowly got him ready for weight training. Taking my time, making sure movement quality was there, and then we ventured up. It wasn't until we got to the latter part of age 16 where we started doing any kind of resistance training. Now here he's 17 years old, and prior to doing these heavier barbell Romanian deadlifts, we started with broom handles, we started with light dumbbells. I really have to make sure that my athletes' movement competency, core activation, etc., are in place as we steadily start loading the body with more movement or more dynamic movement. So by the time I got to this point, he was lifting great. He was doing 100 pounds, 105 pounds for his Romanian deadlifts. Now here, we're going to watch him do 115 pounds. Now here he is at 19 years old. Now he's doing at 125 pounds, and everything that we worked on in the last 8 years is paying off. Now I can really start aggressively weight training and strength training this young athlete and getting him prepared for college or professional soccer. Even his squat patterns, here we're doing a warm-up with body weight in a front squat style. I wanted to work on his front squat technique first and then introduce him, which we did for the first time ever this year. We introduced him to back squats. Now I don't do a lot of back squatting for my athletes as much as I used to, but it's still incorporated, but it's usually a 2-to-1 ratio front squat to back squat. And here was the first day that we loaded him with back squats. And he's picking it right up, starting out with about 55, 60, 65 pounds on his shoulders. And remember, when I teach all of what I do, there's a step-by-step process. He has earned his rite of passage to get to this level of training. And Zuriel did that. I mean, we started with the basic fundamentals way at the beginning when he had the right knee challenge. You know, he was young. We were doing very simple movements, restoring his inner base of support, his inner core. Then we transitioned to the outer core and some of the bigger global muscles like his glutes and his lats and other muscles to help support his structure. And then when he reached an age of maturity, then we started resistance training. But all the way along, we had to restore the 7 basic movement patterns that we need for everyday life, which are the squat, bend, push, pull, twist, lunge, and running, and various gait patterns. Once that client has established the competency in those movement patterns, then and only then can we build off of that as a great base of support and reduce that athlete's chance for injury and increase their performance. And for the first time ever in his life, he is starting to do vertical pull-ups, and I'm using a super band to help him self-assist while he trains on his own. He's done a great job working with him for 8 years. Nice work, Zuriel. And congratulations on making it towards college soccer with your dreams of playing professional right around the corner.